10 counties and 7 cities, all in a state of emergency with the threat of more rain looming.
We certainly see some significant flooding that is still in Bell County. In other areas, what we see is water receding, but it is really wet.
Thursday, Governor Beshear met with county officials before taking off in a helicopter to see the damages from above.
It shows that it is still a dangerous situation and that when someone is impacted by this, it's devastating.
When you're on the ground, it's kind of hard to get a full picture. You know that it spans distance, but when you see it all from a helicopter, it brings it into perspective.
217 homes have been impacted by the floods this past week.
This is a 100-year flood. It is significant. It is severe.
The governor said it is important to report damages to local officials so they can provide the resources to help.
We've got a daunting task. I've got road department guys that are working 12 and 14-hour days. They're wearing thin and there's no end in sight.
Governor Beshear assured local counties the state is supporting them on every level and commended the local officials.
When you look at the type of damage and type of water, it shows how they were active. It shows how the actions they took saved a lot of lives.
Continuing to urge people to stay safe, saying nothing is worth risking your safety. Now, Governor Beshear said all state agencies are on alert, and he issued an executive order implementing price gouging laws. He does not want the people to be taken advantage of. Now, transportation officials say a portion of Kentucky 1165 in Perry County, also known as Left Fork Maces Creek Road, is closed because of a break in the pavement. Officials think the break in pavement worsened during rainy weather. Crews are expected to start repairing the road next week. Now, they do not know how long the repairs will take or when the road will be reopened. Drivers can use the Pratt Mountain section of Kentucky 1165 to access Kentucky 7 as a detour route. Now, Mudslide in Perry County is leaving one person worried about his safety. With the recent rain, the mudslide in Viper is moving the ground beneath Dwayne Blanton's house. As chunks of mud break away, Blanton says his home is not the only thing he is concerned about.
Well, you don't want to go in the house, you just don't want to go back in it because you're afraid it's going to go into the holler with you in it.
Blanton says he hopes to eventually rebuild the home.
And as we head into tomorrow, we are going to finally see some of these clouds get out of here. But as we head into tonight, it's going to be a little bit on the chilly side. Looking over to Interstate 75 into Mount Vernon, starting to dry out over there, and looking at a much calmer night than last night. Looking into Whitesburg, still dealing with those cloudy skies. Temperatures right near 33 degrees. Looking at those temperatures across the area, a lot of us into about those lower 30s, but you're seeing those 20s filtering in back into Louisville, Lexington, and Irvin. Yep, that's on the way to our area as we head into tonight. And compared to this time yesterday, we are a good about 20 degrees cooler. Remember, we were warming up last night. Tonight we are cooling down. We're going to hang on to maybe a few flurries as we head into tonight, but overall it's going to be a very cold Valentine's Day. Sunshine returns, but how long does that stick around? I'll have that answer coming up in just a little bit.
Thank you, Paige. Now, the Wise County Sheriff's Office has arrested a woman following an ambush-style shooting in Wise, Virginia. They left one person dead and 2 others injured on February 3rd. Marcia Newell Ashbear was arrested and charged with abduction, conspiracy to commit aggravated malicious wounding, and conspiracy to commit abduction. Abshire is being held without bond at the Southwestern Virginia Regional Jail in Duffield, Virginia. The investigation is ongoing, and if you have any information about the case, you are asked to call the Wise County Sheriff's Office Investigative Division at 276-328-3566. And staying in Wise County, the band director at Wise Central High School is charged with multiple counts of child pornography. According to court documents, Dalton Bates is charged with 20 counts of possessing or viewing matter portraying a sexual performance by a minor. Bates is currently being held in the Letcher County Jail on a $100,000 bond. An arraignment hearing is set for Friday morning at 8 a.m. Now, no approved budget means no money and layoffs for the Breathitt County Sheriff's Department. WYMT's Lacey Roberts spoke with both the sheriff and judge executive today about how they will be moving forward.
A workday that took an unexpected turn. My deputies will have to stay home.
Deputy vehicles parked at the courthouse until further notice.
Our biggest part of the tax season is come and gone, our collections, and we just cannot operate without our budget.
The job of the fiscal court is to go through each line item of the budget, making sure it adds up. And Judge Executive Jeff Noble says it did not.
I actually got my first copy of the budget from the sheriff's office on January 26th that evening.
The Judge Executive says the budget was to be approved by January 15th. Noble says a vote was postponed at the next fiscal court meeting on the 28th. And he says he then met with the sheriff's financial clerk. There were questions that still needed answers.
It's not left to me to pass the budget. That's the fiscal court's duty. I'm just one member of it.
Now, with no deputies, office personnel, or court security, some worry about the safety of the county.
When you start cutting back on your law enforcement, it's for the fact that crime usually goes up.
Yet, both Sheriff Holland and Judge Noble are confident about the safety of the community.
Good state policemen in here, good bunch of city police guys. They're going to pitch in and help all they can.
I'm putting a plan together right now to try to, have a volunteer county patrol, just for the safety of all of our citizens.
The Breathitt County Fiscal Court will hold a special meeting on Monday at 11 a.m. to review the budget. In Breathitt County, Lacey Roberts, WYMT Mountain News.
And State Representative Cluster Howard addressed the issue in Breathitt County this afternoon. He said, quote, "It is unfortunate that the citizens of Breathitt County are being put in jeopardy because local officials have not been able to work together. It is imperative that our elected officials resolve this issue so that the citizens of Breathitt County can be assured of their safety." Donnie Bush of Breathitt County Magistrate also released a statement on the layoffs. You can read it on our website. Now, one person is dead after a head-on crash in Paintsville this morning. Police say the crash happened on Kentucky Route 40. Robert Mead of Hager Hill was driving eastbound when his car hydroplaned, causing him to slide into oncoming traffic. Mead's car hit a car traveling westbound. The Johnson County coroner pronounced him dead at the scene. The driver and passenger in the second car were taken to a nearby hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Now, officials from Laurel County Sheriff's Office say a custom 4x8 motorcycle trailer with a diamond plate floor was stolen from a home off Kentucky 229 south of London. This is what the trailer looks like. A $1,000 reward is being offered by the Sheriff's Office for information leading to the trailer's recovery and suspect's arrest. Anyone with information is encouraged to contact the Laurel County Sheriff's Office. Now, you can remain anonymous. Crews are set to work overnight cleaning up what is left of a Pike County train derailment. Officials say at about 7 Thursday morning, a CSX train with 96 cars derailed when it hit a mudslide in the drafting community of Pike County. Now, 2 people on board the engine had to be saved by water rescue crews after the engine went into the Big Sandy River.
There's a lot of people working the scene both at the Jesse's Branch area down here and here at Graffin. Try to avoid the area if you can. If you do come through here, please use caution and be careful.
Diesel fuel did get into the river. Officials are working with 2 utility districts downstream to make sure the water won't be impacted. Now, neighbors and passerby says the site was unlike any they had ever seen, adding that they just wanted to know what was going on. One man, Austin Cox, was an eyewitness to what he called a blessing. He says he saw the train in flames and immediately went with the worst possible conclusion.
We got out here, you couldn't really see the engine. I didn't imagine they would have survived 30, 40 minutes, I guess, later sometime. The crew finally emerged from the cab of the engine, was asking for help, telling us it was getting hot.
Cox says he felt helpless in those moments, but relief came as the rescue crews loaded the men onto a boat with minor injuries. Kentucky State Police are wrapping up their on-scene investigation following a crash that left 3 people dead. It happened on a stretch of US 150 between Mount Vernon and Brodhead in Rockcastle County. That area is back open tonight. Now, Nick Oliver was at that scene all evening and has new information on what state police believe caused the crash.
Troopers will tell you this stretch of road right here, US 150 in Rockcastle County, can be a dangerous stretch of road. Unfortunately, that proved true today. The call came in just after 2:30 with reports of 3 vehicles involved in a large crash. The Rockcastle County coroner says 3 people were pronounced dead on scene. Kentucky State Police's accident reconstruction team were soon to be called out. They say 1 vehicle swerved into an opposite lane, sideswiping 1 vehicle and hitting another vehicle head-on. 2 people died in the colliding vehicle and the 3rd person in another vehicle. They do not believe drugs, alcohol, or distracted driving were factors, but say they are taking their data here and continuing with their investigation. State police say they are currently continuing to notify next of kins. Therefore, they have not released the names of those victims. In Rockcastle County, Nick Oliver, WKYT.
Now, the road was shut down for about 6 hours this afternoon. Coming up at 11, a local farmers market holds a special event for Valentine's Day. And a woman is helping flood victims in a unique way.
And temperatures will continue to drop tonight, which will make for a cold Valentine's Day. We'll have those details coming up.
Something great.